deadly stuff.
You're gutting them and cleaning them.
Gotta start somewhere.
That bone until you got to the lip. Found out if it's spot.
AV ready? Good evening. The December 4th meeting of the Lincoln City Planning Commission is now in session. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Kate, may we have the roll call, please?
Patty Crone is absent and excused. Gary Cunningham.
Here.
Marie McFarland.
Here.
Sean Keir.
Here.
Miles Schlesinger.
Here.
And Doug Bryson is absent. And Steve Griffiths.
Here. Thank you. Are there any agenda changes or revisions?
No, there aren't.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from our November 20th meeting?
I make a motion to approve the minutes of our November 20th meeting.
I second.
Second.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The minutes are approved. There are no final orders, resolutions, and written communications this evening. We will continue our discussion of zoning ordinance amendment 2018-04 from our last meeting. And I think we requested that the planning department sort of break that into two separate ordinances, correct? One
Right.
focusing on parking and the other one on trees. Did you want to speak to that?
I'll just say that we've done that. The first one in your packet is the one relating to parking, and there's no changes to that other than the fact that it's broken into a separate ordinance. The second one is the one relating to the tree protection plan, and I added some language to that that I hope would address the concerns that commissioners had. I added a couple of standards, one being that to be eligible for the reduction in the protection plan requirements, a workforce housing project must be so designated by the city manager. The purpose of that is that adds a third player. It's got, because right, the way it's originally drafted, it's the planning director, the city engineer, and now we're adding the city manager, who has an overall responsibility to declare a development, a workforce housing development. And then a second requirement that to be eligible for the reduction, at least 50% of the dwelling units in the project have to be affordable to the city's workforce as defined by the city council. They say in the brief staff report, the council has not made a formal declaration of what affordable is. We have a working definition, but I think it would be good for the council to do that, so we all know what we're working towards, and they could do that before this kind of reduction in the standards would be allowed. And I said 50%. I know Commissioner Cunningham has suggested 100%. And we didn't have anything, so I split the difference, and basically there's nothing magic about 50%. If you want a different percentage, that's fine. I just wanted to address that concern, though.
Any questions for Mr. Townsend? Gary?
Is there a,
Why don't we, excuse me, Gary, why don't we do these general questions? Well, why don't we do these one by one and focus on the parking one first?
Okay.
And then get that out of the way and then do the tree one? Does that make sense?
Sure. And what I'm
Any
asking-
questions for Mr. Townsend about the parking ordinance? All right, is there a motion to make a recommendation to approve the recommendation to the city council for the parking ordinance?
I move that we recommend to the city council that they accept the current form of the 51A parking reduction draft ordinance as it is written now.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
May we have a roll call vote, please, Kate?
Sure. McFarland,
Yes.
Kier,
Yes.
Schlesinger,
Yes.
Cunningham,
Yes.
and Griffiths.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Okay, any questions for Mr. Townsend about the tree one? Yes, Gary?
Did we have, I mean, was this all closed already?
Yes.
So we're in deliberations. Yeah, the only thing I'd like to suggest is somehow we could, if there was a way to codify that the city council actually has to make a definition of what that number is, because if they don't make a definition of what that number is, then making a comment like 50% of a mystical number is important. You know, I don't know, do we have leverage on this to?
I'm not sure what number are you referring to?
Affordable housing.
Affordability?
Yeah, right.
If they don't do something, then this could not ever be acted on, because there would be no definition from the city council. So that is sort of the way that would have to happen.
Can we recommend that council adds that definition?
Sure.
Another option do we want to withhold recommending this until the council does define it and approve it?
Is that how this works?
With that,
You have the power to do that. You don't have the power to tell them to do anything, to tell the council to do anything, so
but we could put it as part of our recommendation.
certainly. Yeah.
All right. I had a question. Is there anything that, once, assuming this is approved and, a new workforce housing is built, is the developer required to sell the units to people who live in Lincoln City or the vicinity and are employed here? Or could they be marketed to retirees as, or to anybody as a second home, for example?
There's no standard about to whom they can be sold, and I'm not sure if that would be legal under the Fair Housing Act anyway.
I guess where I'm going to with that is that we make the special provision on the trees and say they don't need to do an arborist report if it's for workforce housing, but then there's no guarantee that it's actually going to be used for workforce housing, right?
That's correct. There is no guarantee.
There's no rock-solid way of guaranteeing that would happen, right?
Any further discussion on this one? What about the percentage? Gary?
Well, 50%, if we manage to get any development that comes in to actually make 50% of the units affordable, that'd be amazing to me. I would be really happy with that kind of a number because, we've been given 10% and, lower numbers than that to give other incentives. And my goal, of course, is to get housing affordable for those people who work here, and I don't want to make it so closed loop that we don't get any housing built. So 50% is, I guess, a good number.
I have one more question for you, Mr. Richard. How expensive is it to do an arborist report? If somebody's got, say, do we have an average like per acre, and it's a wooded lot, an arborist will charge this for?
I don't know exactly. It's in the thousands. For a few acres, it's in the thousands, I would imagine. When you get to a big tract, then you're talking tens of thousands. But I think at most normally it's going to be, I don't know, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, something like that for a few acres.
Okay, thank you.
Especially if there's a lot of trees on it.
Thank you. Any discussion? Is there a motion to recommend this ordinance to the city council with the provision, what was the one, that they come up with a working definition of affordable housing.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll move that, that yes, we go forward with this with the recommendation to the city council that they make a workable definition of what affordable housing for the workforce is.
Is there a second?
I second it.
And we have a roll call vote, please.
McFarland,
Yes.
Schlesinger,
Yes.
Kier,
Yes.
Cunningham,
Yes?
and Griffiths.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, thank you. Is there any old business this evening?
No,
Is there any new business this evening?
I don't.
Any planning commission training? No. Okay. Any reports and comments from planning department staff?
Yes.
Don't. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Kate and I just want to announce that we have 2 more coastal resilience meetings about tsunamis and the Beat the Wave modeling that we're doing. And they are coming up. The first one is on, what day of the week is that?
It's
Tuesday?
Monday,
Monday,
Monday.
December 17th.
Monday, December 17th at the community center. And that one, the focus is Wacoma and Rhodes End. However, we cover all the areas of town each time we meet. So everyone's welcome to come. And the next one is on the 20th, which is Thursday evening, and that's going to be at the community college. And we have had 2 so far, and they've both, I think, been very well received. We had one, both were at the end of November. The first one was at the the Pacific Baptist Church in Cutler City. We had 10 neighbors there, I would say, 10 or 11. And we had Meg Reed with Department of Land Conservation and Development presenting, along with Laura Gable with Department of Geology and Mineral Industries. And so there were lots of questions. We were there the whole 2 hours. And then we had a second one here, and we had Meg Reed joined by Jonathan Allen, who is also with Dugami. And that was a very interesting presentation. There several people mentioned that they were new in town. They've just been here a year, or there was somebody who had only been here a month. And so a lot of this was new to them. Some of them were informed, but the Beat the Wave results are different and add another layer of understanding to the situation. And so they've been very good meetings.
Deborah,
Yes.
you mentioned the dates. What was the times?
6 o'clock, 6 to 8 o'clock. We do provide food and, like meat, cheese, veggie trays. And we do give away prizes. We gave at both times, and we'll do this the next 2 meetings as well. Mark Nicholson, our emergency preparedness person, gave away a to-go kit, fully loaded, backpack with emergency supplies. He also gave away straws, drinking straws, and an all-purpose tool.
The drinking straws aren't just McDonald's drinking straws.
Yeah, they're not the plastic ones we want to ban.
The water that you're drinking out of.
They purify the water.
Purifiers, yeah, water purifiers. So that's good too. It's nice to be able to provide incentives for people to come, but also it's a learning tool, because we can talk about the purpose of this kind of equipment and different places you can buy those things.
And Northwest Natural also provided some
That's right.
goodies.
At our last meeting, Northwest Natural provided a light-up thing and I think maybe a straw
pack
as
with
well.
With a light
blanket.
stick, a whistle.
A blanket,
Yeah,
one of those little
space
tiny
blanket things.
space blankets.
So,
Deb, how many people were at the second meeting?
I'd say probably 10 again. 10 neighbors and then the staff.
I will be at the last meeting on December 20th.
Yeah, good.
At Roads End, we're advertising it quite heavily, so hopefully quite a few people will be there.
We kind of expected that. So we hope to see a lot of people there. That'd be great.
Thank you, Deborah. Does the city attorney have anything to say? No. What about commissioners?
Yeah, we're going to be losing you two, and you guys have been real supportive for us, you know. I just wanted you to know that we appreciate your efforts for the city. And
Oh, well, thank you. It's been great working with you.
I think all of us can echo your sentiment, Gary. Yeah. It's been a real privilege and a real education at the same time. We've all learned a lot from both of you. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Future agenda items? And we have
On December 18th, you'll get more of an opportunity to praise Deb. That'll be her last meeting. 2018 Planner of the Year, and also we'll do sort of a year-end review on what we've accomplished.
Thank you very much.
Are you?
Tonight's meeting is now adjourned.
Good night.